So the phone rings or you get a text message and it's your kid. Out of the blue, they reach out to you and they're like, hey mom, yeah, so I was thinking of going shopping and wanted to know if you wanted to come along. Like out of the blue, what if they call you and what are you going to say? Are you ready? Are you ready for that? If that happened today, are you ready? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about some action steps that you can take to prepare for the day when your kid gives you a call or a text, because that's going to happen. Okay, thanks. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is AlieNation. And on our channel, we want to give you things to ways to help you feel better about yourself, because being alienated from your adult children and your grandchildren is a very uncomfortable place to be. It can be sad, it can be depressing. You can, like, your brain can do the spiral the drain all day, and if you obsess about it, it's just going to destroy you. So what I want to do is talk about some things that you can do for yourself to prepare for that day, because if it happens like tomorrow, what are you going to do and what are you going to say? You don't want to break that olive branch and start asking them about, like, oh, why did you do this and why did you do that? You can't go back there. You have to only move forward. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to talk about some action steps that you can take to feel better about yourself and to prepare for the day when your child reaches out to you. So what do you do before the reconnection happens? So first of all, you got to do the inner work before the phone rings. You can journal. You can write letters to yourself or write letters to your child that you never send. Don't send anything hateful or woe is me or anything like that. So journal, like, practice what you would want to say, write it out. And it's kind of like brainstorming with yourself. So you got to get your mindset ready for the day that happens. Practice responding and not reacting. So when you react to something, it's like you have this, your guard goes up and you start to defend yourself. And we don't want to go there, because that's what got you in here, into this place in the first place. Just saying, it could be and it could not be. But however, in an estrangement, it's not all one way and then none of the other. Everybody has some kind of accountability. Everybody has some kind of skin in that game. You didn't do nothing to deserve what is happening to you. You know, like, this is in the case of that your daughter is the one that's doing the estrangement, or your son, because of something you did or said or how you are. Or, you know, if it's a case of a spouse that doesn't like what you do, you still have skin in the game. So think about, take some time for yourself, journal, and figure out, okay, what really happened? What happened? How was I treating them? What did I do? Did I overstep a boundary? You get the idea. So just start writing it out, and maybe like do some role playing with yourself. Like, what would I say? How would I respond if they just picked up the phone? And I say this because I talked to a friend that I did not know, or they did not know that this was happening, because our children have mutual friends. And he said, yeah, one day out of the blue, she just picked up the phone and says, hey, and just started talking like it was like a normal day. And so how do you respond? Do you attack them? Do you react to them? No. So start journaling and do the inner work before the phone rings, or before they knock on your door or send you a text message, because that day is going to be the best day and you don't want to ruin it. Okay, so secondly, you got to let go of going back to the way it was, because obviously the way it was is not working. It's not working for them, and it's not working for you. And you get this golden opportunity to reconnect with your child. You don't want to ruin it by going down the road of, like, well, you said I was this and you said I was that. Let's just learn to move forward. A reconnection isn't a rewind button. It's a new chapter. Think of this as a new chapter in your life with your child. And then, so some actionable steps, actionable advice. You don't expect to pick things up where they left off. and let's let go of old expectations of how your child should act or what your grandchild should remember. Because if it's been quite a few years, remember when your babies were like toddlers. From the time they're a toddler to the time they go to kindergarten, that for them is an eternity. And they may or may not remember specific incidences, but they will remember you. They will not forget you, because you look a certain way, you smell a certain way, and you have this energy that the kids just love. But don't expect them to remember, like, oh, remember when we used to go to the carnival? And they're like, no, I don't remember that. I was little. So let go of the way it was. Okay. Enter with curiosity, not control, and create a calm, loving message bank. So when in the rush of emotion, like when the phone rings and you're like, oh my gosh, should I pick it up? What is she going to say? Is she going to, it's very emotional. So again, go back to rehearsing and prepare a short message like, I missed you. I'm so glad you called, and I'm here. I'm listening. Just be open and let them speak, because when you let others speak, they take that as you being a good listener. So you want to be a good listener, and you don't have to defend yourself, and you don't have to question why. Just be open and be warm and try not to be desperate. Okay. So create some, like, maybe in your phone or in your journal, like things that you would say to kind of as a segue from, hey mom, like, okay, what are you going to say next? Right? Gotta be prepared for that. Okay, so again, I'm going back to listening. Repairing the relationship begins with listening. Now, my daughter would always say, you don't listen to me. You don't listen to me. And I like, of course I listen to you, but there's a reason why she felt like she was never heard. And, when you echo back what your child is saying, like, okay, if I'm to hear correctly, blah, blah, blah. So when your reconnection begins, the first step is not explaining, it's hearing them out and just letting them talk. And it may trigger you, and it may bring up some emotions that you are not willing to deal with, but you have to just breathe through it and allow them to just say what's on their mind. Because I'm just going to guess that when the time comes and they pick up the phone, they're nervous, and they may be, I'm sure, very emotional, and it took a lot for them to pick up the phone to call you. So just let them say what they want and don't react. Okay. So make some space before making your point. And, you can say something like, I didn't know you felt that way. Thank you for telling me, or thank you for sharing with me. Because in order to start repairing your relationship, you have to be very open, because you can't immediately get to a place where you weren't talking and then now you're your best friends again. It's going to take some steps, and it's going to take some trust building on both parts, right? It's going to take some time. So be a very good listener. Okay. And then don't wait to become the person that they want. I think they got it in their mind, like, what is an ideal mom? And, we're humans, right? We were moms too. We were a first time mom when we had them, and we had our own mom journey, and we had our own speed bumps and challenges and roadblocks and hurts and wins. We had a whole life before our child became an adult, and they are not privy to all of that information, or don't, not to any of the information. I think they have an expectation that you have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect, but start becoming the person you want them to see. You don't want them to see the old you that's judgy or critical or hard. They want to have a mom that is caring and loving and listens with intention, and not, like hearing. There's a difference between hearing and listening. So be that person that just like, okay, I'm listening, right? So you have to practice doing that. And I've been practicing. I've been practicing with, my friends and with my loved ones. And it takes some discipline, and it takes some practice to listen without interrupting, not defending, and not correcting. So practice on your friends, and don't say, hey, I'm going to practice with you. Just do it um, without anybody knowing, because that learning is for you. So mending the bridge between you and your child starts with listening. It really does. That's really what they want you to do, and become a person that they want, that they become the person that you want them to see. Okay, so show your growth now through your habits, your health, your healing. And that's another thing too, is during this time, I'm looking at this break. I'm calling it a break from my child. I'm looking at it as an opportunity for learning for myself. And I'm hoping that she's looking at it as an opportunity for learning as well. And I'm doing a lot of, introspection, and taking a look at what I've done in the past and where I want to go in the future. And this person that I want her to see is going to be kinder and more loving and a better listener and be more empathetic, because well, let's face it, I'm a Gen X, right? We don't like flex our empathetic muscles very often. It's like, well, bro, figure it out, right? Then that's really who we are. But in order to, and I'm not saying that you have to give up yourself in order to have a relationship with your child, but until you build trust, both sides, until you build trust, you've got to kind of do this little ballet dance around each other, and just be nice, and until you can build trust, like she has to trust that you're not going to be that person anymore, and uh I have to trust that she's not going to cut me off again, because I don't want that anymore. I just don't want that anymore. I don't want it for her. I don't want it for my son-in-law. I don't want it for my grandson. That's just not how I want our family to be. I want us to go back to being a family, but not how we were. Okay, so become a really safe place. Become that like soft pillow that they can put their head on when they pick up the phone to call you. So just be kind and soft and open for when they do pick up the phone and call you. So you don't need to like, what do you call it, crash through walls or anything and shake people up like, come on, man, let's go. I want a relationship with you again. It has to be soft, and it has to be open, and it has to be empathetic. And I know that's not going to be you, not necessarily, because that's not like my superpower, being empathetic, but I can do it because I am an adult and I am disciplined, and I have a strong desire to rebuild this relationship with my child. And I know you do too. So if all of that makes sense, please leave me a comment, and please don't forget to subscribe. As I grow my channel, the more you interact with my videos, the more that the algorithm will show up for more people, because my goal is to really help all these grandparents that I meet online and on my socials and stuff. My goal really is to help you, because there's not a lot of information out there about what you can do. Okay, so thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.